Everybody, welcome back. GE115, week 7. We have an exam tomorrow, so I want to talk about that. I want to talk about quiz 4, so you're kind of tuned up for the exam. So let's just pop on the calendar. I'm going to minimize myself a little bit. Exam tomorrow, that'll be open all day from morning to night. Let me know if that doesn't work with your schedule. But I'd like to hold it to one day, just so there's not a lot of information being shared. So I really want you to do it on your own. Show me your skills. It's going to be very much like quiz 4. So you're going to have control over line types. We're going to have control over dimensioning and dimension text. Let's go in and look at quiz 4. So what I did here is I actually took one of your drawings. I did a little work to it, but not a lot, because it was quite good. So, and a lot of them are. But with orthographic projection, you really have to look for what is hidden and what is not, and make those show up in paper space. So, however it looks in model space is great, but what's important is paper space, because that's what you're going to print and make the PDF and deliver it to me. I go in and look at both. This is just a really good job. The dimensioning is clear. It's not on top of each other. There is one dimension line that is crossed by an extension line. So I want you to try and get those standards down and try not to do that kind of maneuver, but everything is off of the visible lines, off of the object, everything off the object here, and everything off the object here. So really good. We have the name of the view below, and good control over the dimension text, and the text size is appropriate. So have the names of the views below the view. And I think it was supposed to be 1/4 inch. I don't remember for sure, but I think it was 1/4 inch. So in this area, it should look like, 1/8 inch text. Beautiful, and 1/4 inch text, and then a title block filled in. So fantastic, really nice job. It's in projection. The hidden lines weren't all in there. Some of the hidden lines were missing, so really be careful with that. And if you're going to put a center line in, which is fine for holes, holes are often located by their center. It's better to locate them in the view of the hole. So right here would be the best spot to locate the half by half. So that's really good. And if you do that, then you don't need this half. So we don't need to have redundant dimensioning. You have it in one location, you don't need it in another location. All right, but I'm not being too picky on that. We didn't spend a lot of time on dimensioning standards. I'm really looking for the AutoCAD control. And this is really good. Okay, these line types, make sure you get the line type scale adjusted to show up. So for example, I'm going to go into model space, and then you can click on an object. So let's say I put the hidden line in and it didn't show up very well. What you want to do is right click on that center and go into the properties. So then in properties, you can see line type scale. So if on this exercise it was left to 1, which is the default, it looks like that. So that's still a hidden line. It's just not showing up. We want it to show up. So I want to make that show up. I just grip it and then right click and go to properties, which was already open, and then go to line type scale and adjust that. So 0.5 all the times, if things aren't showing up, you need to adjust it down. But it is kind of a guess and check at times. It's a little more difficult when you have a really big drawing. So be careful with that. But yeah, really good job here. Okay, and this is pretty much what you're going to get for your exam. You'll get some kind of an orthographic projection, and you'll have to make a layout and produce a nice clean drawing. What this could use is some line type. So let me get out. I'm sure of that, right? Sorry about that. Try this again. Where is AutoCAD? There it is. It could use some line weight work. So get rid of that. All right, I'm not sure what's going on here. Let me go back to, there it is, AutoCAD. All right, it could use some line weight work. So what I mean by that is we want the, can't get to what I want because of the darn Zoom controls. There we go. I'm going to set it back to 1:1. And now go back to paper space. There we go. Now I can move around a little. Now it gets a little confusing, doesn't it? What we want is our line weights to show up for our visible lines. We want those to be thicker. So I'll pop into the model space and I zoom in a little, but not too much. And then I can work with these. So for example, I'll just do the perimeter and you'll get a feel for this, but it should be all visible lines, right? So then line weights here, and it does give them to you and it shows them to you, but a lot of times, the 0.05 or 0.55 is a good line weight. Now, you may not see it, it might not be turned on, okay? So remember that the line weights are down here, show hide line weights, and it looks like that. So this looks like it's some kind of a center line, so we don't really want that in there. Now this is it. It's really obnoxious. Yeah, it's constructed a little differently than I would do it, but that's all right. And we'll set that to the line weight that we want. So, and this may be too thick, but we're going to take a look at it. So it always looks a little nasty here, right there. That's ugly, right? But let's go look at it in our paper space and zoom in, and it is a little too thick. So this is how you should do it, right? A little back and forth activity to set those. And so let's go half that size and just see what we get. 2.4 is fine. Right. Again, this can be done in the end. That's kind of when I do it. Yeah, that's looking good. So visible lines would be all the visible lines. So it would be that line and that line, not the hidden. The hidden stays thin, and not the dimensions. The dimension stays thin. So try to start to control your line thickness also. It should look like this, should be thicker than the dimension lines. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think if you can produce this kind of drawing in quiz 4, you're totally ready for exam 1. If you struggled with this, then you need to practice with it. And if you have, any specific things that I can dial you in on, I'm happy to produce a little video to show you how to do it. So I just kind of did line weights and I just kind of did line types. And from there, it's just drawing organization. Just be careful and try and get all those hidden geometries in and all those angled geometries projected. So good job. I am going to close out and I'll have your exam ready for you Friday morning.